All right, let's get right into it. We're about to break down an incredible story of strategy, raw emotion, and a blindside so brutal, absolutely no one saw it coming.
And this one sentence right here. From Gabriel, this is it. This is the moment the game stopped being a game and became something very, very real. It's the quote that set the stage for one of the most ruthless moves of the entire season. So, after a tribal council that left everyone's jaws on the floor, the tribe is just completely fractured. It is perfectly and very dangerously split right down the middle. So what you're looking at here are two armies, right? Two solid five-person alliances locked in a stalemate. It's a total Cold War. Any crack, any single mistake could bring one of these sides completely tumbling down.
The air in camp is just thick with tension. It all boils over when David confronts Gabriel, basically asking if their whole flirtation was just an act. And Gabriel's justification? It was all just part of the game. That's when you see how real and how ugly this has all become.
Okay, so here's where things get really messy. The losing alliance, Skalanch, they start tearing themselves apart, just desperately trying to figure out who betrayed them, who was the lead.
Literally everyone is a suspect. Gal is looking sideways at Vova or David. Vova and Inna? They suspect David too, but they just can't bring themselves to believe he would do it. The trust has been completely shattered.
And then the truth comes out. In a totally heartbreaking moment, David pulls his closest ally, Vova, aside and confesses everything. He admits he was the leak. Can you even imagine this scene? In a raw, incredibly emotional moment, David has to stand in front of his entire alliance and tell them he was played. He lays it all out. How Gabriel completely manipulated his feelings to get information. He's so crushed, he actually says he's thinking about quitting the game for good.
And this shot right here, it says it all. The whole mood in camp is just devastation. David's alliance is shocked, but then something really interesting happens. Their anger starts to shift away from David. Now there's a new villain in this story, Gabriel.
Okay, so the game shifts gears a bit. The emotions are still incredibly raw, but now it's all about the numbers. We're in a 5-5 deadlock, which means we're in a full-blown arms race. You either win immunity or you find an advantage. That's the only way forward.
The pressure is just immense. Gaul pulls out a huge win with individual immunity. Now that's great for him, but it doesn't solve the bigger problem. With everyone else still on the chopping block, a 5-5 tie at tribal leads to a random rock draw. And let me tell you, nobody wants to risk their entire game on a game of pure chance.
And just when you think things can't get any more intense, Gabriel, the very architect of this whole chaotic blindside, finds the one tool that can break the game wide open. He gets his hands on the steal a vote advantage. This changes everything.
So let's break this down, because this is the crucial point. The West Hall 5 now hold all the power. They can turn this 5-5 vote into a 6-4 majority, no problem. The only question is, who do they target?
So they're weighing their options. Mariah seems like the safe, easy play. But then, Gabriel suggests something no one expects, something unthinkable. He suggests they target the very person he just emotionally manipulated, David.
Even Gabriel's own alliance is stunned. You can hear the shock in Noam's voice. He basically says, "Whoa, hold on. That crosses a line. That's just disgusting." He feels it's too soon, way too brutal after what just happened.
And Lodum's reaction, it just perfectly captures the brutality of the whole plan. She uses this classic Hebrew saying that basically means, you've murdered someone and now you're trying to inherit their fortune. It's less about game strategy and more about adding a terrible insult to a very serious injury.
But this is the game, right? And strategy often trumps sentiment. They all agree that targeting David is the one move that nobody will ever see coming. The shock value alone makes it the most effective play.
And all of this leads to a tribal council that is going to go down in history. David's alliance walks in there thinking they're headed for a 5-5 tie. They have absolutely no idea what is about to hit them.
The trap is officially sprung. Anna stands up and just drops a bomb on the whole tribe. She announces she's stealing Gaul's vote. Now remember, Gaul's immune, so he can't be voted for, but his vote? Oh yeah, that can definitely be taken.
And just like that, the math is completely transformed. It is now 6 votes versus 4. You can see the instant realization on the faces of the Skalanj alliance. That horrible sinking feeling when you know you've been totally outplayed and there's nothing you can do.
And with that, his torch is snuffed. The player who was so brutally manipulated is now so ruthlessly eliminated by the very same people. It was a move of pure, cold-blooded efficiency that just left everyone speechless.
So, the West Hall Five pulled off a perfect blindside. They now have complete control of the game. But it leaves us with this lingering question, doesn't it? In a game like this, is there a line between brilliant strategy and pure cruelty? And you have to wonder, did Gabriel just cross it?